I'm Foster Hewitt, and I'll be doing the play-by-play, and with me is my sidekick, Brian Conacher, to do the color. This is the rubber game of the series, with each team winning one game and tying the other. Brian?
Well, Foster, both teams have made liberal changes to try to win this fourth and final game in Canada. The Soviets have made 4 changes, inserting Ragulin, Vikulov, Polodiev, and Blinov, and dropping Solodukin, Gusev, Shatilov, and Mishakov. The Soviets are now back to very much the same lineup as they had in Game 1. For Canada, they've inserted 8 new players, getting a lot more players into the lineup. They have switched goalies. They've got Ken Dryden in goal, replacing Tony Esposito. Don Ory and Rod Sealing are replacing Guy Lapointe, and Serge Savard, who suffered a broken bone in his foot in a practice here yesterday. Vic Hadfield, Rod Gilbert, Dennis Hull, Gilles Perrault, and Bill Goldsworthy are in the lineup. And here comes Team Canada onto the ice. And rounding out their roster, the Canadians have also dropped Peter Mahovlich, Jean Rattel, Stan Makita, Wayne Cashman, and Jean-Paul Parise. And to our right, the Soviets skate onto the ice. Prior to this game,
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now have presentations at center ice. Mesdames et messieurs, nous aurons maintenant des présentations au centre de la patinoire. First, we would like to welcome the Deputy Chief of the Soviet delegation, Mr. Romensky, who will present a Troishika Gadol to the Mr. Bill Hay, President of Hockey Canada. Monsieur Romensky, le chef de la délégation russe, fera maintenant une présentation de ces fameuses poupées russes à Monsieur Bill Hay, de Hockey Canada.
These are traditional Soviet dolls, and there are several dolls within the one big doll. You take off the head, and another little doll comes out, and you go right down to the minutest little doll.
The Russian team leader, Mr. Andrei Starovoitov, will make a presentation to Mr. Joe Kriska, President of the Canadian Amateur Hockey Association. Une présentation est faite à M. Joe Kriska, le président de l'Association amateur de hockey du Canada, par M. Andrei Starovoitov. Now, the International Secretary of the Russian Ice Hockey Federation, Mr. Viktor Kotoshkin, will present to Mr. Alan Eagleson of the National Hockey League Players Association. Présentation à Monsieur Alan Eagleson. Now the coach of the Russian team will present to the Canadian coach, Harry Sinden. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Filadov Bobrov. Now the assistant coach of the Soviet team, Mr. Boris Kuligin, will present to the assistant coach of Team Canada, John Ferguson. Now for the team presentations. Maintenant pour la présentation des deux équipes en présence ce soir. Pour l'équipe de l'Union soviétique, for the Soviet Union team, le numéro 1, number 1, Victor Singer. Wearing number 3, le numéro 3, Vladimir Luchenko.
All of these dolls will be of different sizes, as you can see, and when they're over, they'll all insert in to be one big doll.
Number 5, le numéro 5, Alexander Ragulin. Le numéro 6, number 6, Valery Vassiliev.
Canadians, in turn, are presenting the Soviet team with a medal.
Le numéro 7, number 7, Gennady Tigankov. Number 9, Yuri Blinov. Le numéro 10, number 10, Alexander Maltsev. Le numéro 13, number 13, Boris Mikhailov. Le numéro 15, number 15, Alexander Yakushev. Le numéro 16, number 16, Vladimir Petrov. Le numéro 17, number 17, Valery Karmalov. Le numéro 18, number 18, Vladimir Bikulov. Le numéro 19, number 19, Vladimir Shadrin. Le numéro 20, number 20, Vyacheslav Kresiak. Le numéro 22, number 22, Vyacheslav Anisin. Le numéro 26, number 26, Eugenie Polatiev. Le numéro 23, number 23, Yuri Lebedev. Et le numéro 24, number 24, Alexander Podunov. And now the captain of the Soviet Union team, Viktor Kuskin, will present a doll to the captain of the Canadian team for the non-playing Canadians player.
A tremendous spontaneous ovation
Now,
after that
ladies and
exchange.
gentlemen, the introduction of Team Canada. La présentation des joueurs de l'équipe Canada. Number 1, le numéro 1, Ed Johnston. Le numéro 2, number 2, Gary Bergman. Le numéro 3, number 3, Pat Stapleton. Number 5, le numéro 5, Brad Park. Number 6, le numéro 6, Ron Ellis. Number 7, numéro 7, Phil Esposito. Number 8, le numéro 8, Rod Gilbert. Le numéro 9, number 9, Bill Goldsworthy. Number 10, le numéro 10, Dennis Hull. Number 11, numéro 11, Vic Atfield. Number 12, numéro 12, Yvan Gournoyer. Number 16, numéro 16, Rod Sealing. Number 17, numéro 17, Bill White. Number 19, numéro 19, Paul Anderson. Numéro 26, number 26, Don Ori. Number 27, numéro 27, Frank Mahovlich. Number 28, numéro 28, Bobby Clark. Number 29, numéro 29, Ken Dryden. Number 33, numéro 33, Gilbert Perrault. Ladies and gentlemen, will you now please rise for the national anthems? Ladies, mesdames et messieurs, s'il vous plaît, vous levez pour les hymnes nationaux.
This is Game 4 of the Canada-Soviet Series from Vancouver. Now for the starting lineups, and Bergman and Brad Park on the Canadian defense. Clark is center ice, Paul Henderson and Ellis on the wings, and Ken Dryden in goal. Going back to the first game of the series. Now for the Soviets, Raglan is out there with Sagankov, Mikhailov, Maltsev, and Harlamov are the forward line. Tretiak in goal, continuing his great performance. Len Gagnon and Gord Lee are the two officials, and the Soviet team are in a huddle as usual right in front of their own bench, and now they're all set to go.
Foster, it'd be a good time to mention what the CCCP means on the front of the Soviets' jerseys. It, of course, is in the Russian alphabet, means the USSR, or the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics.
The Soviets are to our right, Canada to the left. Maltsev got the draw momentarily. Canada recovers, shoots it up over the line. Clark driving it in. Ellis going after it. It's shot on the boards. Harlamov getting it at the blue line. 17. Harlamov over to Vikolov. And Vikolov couldn't recover as Park is skating him off. Number 5, Ellis, goes in to help. Back to the goal. Left it, a loose puck. It's back to the net for Maltsev. They're great opportunists. Another roller over on the side. Henderson covered his man. Henderson wearing the red helmet. Comes in front of his own goal. Over to Ellis. Ellis at center ice behind Clark. Recovered by the Soviet. And it's Vikolov over the line with Harlamov, who went in too far. Park is covered by Maltsev, who has the puck. He's bumped. Here's a shot by Sagankov that went wide of the net. Bergman plays to Paul Henderson. Henderson up to center ice. Raglan took Canadian player out. Henderson still going. Stopped as he went to one side of the net. Center right in front of Park. Here's a shot. And the drive went wide. Soviet come right back with a pass. Mikhailov failing to get it. Mikhailov 13. Petrov making the pass. And they're changing on the go. Now Blinov was given a jolt on the boards. Petrov fell. Blinov going in. Number 9 is knocked over by Goldsworthy. And he gives him the elbow again. Mikhailov took it on the head. And Goldsworthy will get the first penalty of the game for Canada.
Of course, Foster, Goldsworthy has been waiting a long time to get in this series. He got in briefly in one of the other games, but the Canadians are so intense. They want to get into this game so badly that a few chippy penalties are inevitable to come.
1 minute, 24 seconds. La punition de l'équipe du Canada au numéro 9, Bill Goldsworthy. 2 minutes pour double échec à 1 minute 24 secondes.
1:24, Goldsworthy for cross-checking. And Goldsworthy had just come on the ice on a player change as the two teams were changing on the move. Petrov is now at center ice for the Soviet. They have the odd man advantage. So Canada under a disadvantage right off the bat. Bill White goes back to the net. Mahovlich couldn't recover the puck. Kuzkin to Mikhailov, 13. The pass goes loose. Bill White lobbed it down the ice. And Tretiak will have to stop it. Luchenko takes it back to the goal. Number 3, watched by Mahovlich. He's out there with Bill Esposito trying to kill off the penalty. From the corner, the puck is shot to the blue line, recovered by Blinov. Up the center to Petrov. Over the line, he stops. They're getting that passing play here. Luchenko's drive. Scores! A long shot by Luchenko. And whether it was deflected by a stick, it's hard to say.
Again, good puck control by the Soviets. They cross the blue line with good puck control. Now Luchenko moves into the prime scoring area. Mikhailov has parked himself on the left of the net. And I don't know whether he actually tipped it or not, but he distracted Dryden as he tried to come across the net and stop the deflection. Good slap shot, low in a good place for a deflection. And Mikhailov is right on the corner of Dryden's pad and tips it up into the net.
Soviet Union's goal scored by number 13, Boris Mikhailov, assisted by number 3, Vladimir Luchenko, and number 16, Vladimir Petrov. At 2 minutes,
Luchenko and Petrov will get assists on that play. Mihailov was able to touch that puck. He made a scoop at it, as you noticed, and there was a question whether he touched it or not. But apparently it went right up off the toe of his stick and beat Dryden cleanly at 2:01.
Just another example of how costly penalties can be.
That goal was scored with Goldsworthy in the penalty box. So it's now USSR 1, Canada no score. Goldsworthy starts back on the right side, and the puck was kicked at the time. It's offside at the Soviet line. Teams are at full strength. Now it's the kid line out there for the Anderson at center ice. Vodunov on one wing and Lebedev on the other. Lebedev was 23. This is the young line that played in the University Series last year at Lake Placid. So they're all 20 years old, showing how hockey is improving and coming along in Russia. Puck is shot right down the ice and cleared down into the Canadian zone, so it's an icing call.
A good first intermission coming up with a look in the Soviet dressing room in Winnipeg. Bill Good will have some fan reaction again, and there'll be an interview with Joe Kriska, the president of the CAHA. Of course, Howie Meeker will be along with the highlights.
Vikulov is over on the right wing for the Soviet. He failed to get out. Again gets it with Harlamov on his left. Maltsev on the right. As the puck goes, Ori goes in back of that. He's out there with Sealing for Canada. Now then, a long pass to Hadfield goes astray. Gankov bringing it back with Vikulov, and Harbalov, a shot stopped by Don Ori. Cleared back to the net by Phil Esposito. They jam against the board. Raglan hangs on to that puck. Another case of real puck control. They're roughing it up quite a bit here right at the start, and Canada got a penalty for cross-checking that allowed the Soviet to capitalize on a scoring effort. An icing call, as the Canadian team seemed to be a bit upset by that scoring play.
Number 18, Vikulov, has made an amazing recovery to get back into this lineup tonight. He suffered a partial separated shoulder in Game 2, had it strapped up for a couple of practices, and is now back out there taking a regular shift. Of course, that's the Soviets' top line.
Perreault is out there now for Canada, number 33. He's the product from Buffalo in the NHL. Mahovlich is on the left wing from Montreal Canadiens, and also Cornwallier. So now it's back behind the Canadian goal. Perreault starting to move on that left side, waiting for a pass. Bergman played it the other way, and it's Cornwallier knocking it out at center. Perreault knocked Mihailov down. The puck goes into the Soviet zone. Luchenko free. Shoots it, not out. Loose puck goes to the side. Kuskin nearly was in trouble. Mihailov playing it back to the goal. In the corner there, Blinov, number 9. Passes on the right wing. A relay is intercepted by Cornwallier to Bergman. Up on the right wing. Perreault going in there, 33. Sent right to Mahovlich, and it bounced off his stick. And Frank Mahovlich had a great chance. Mihailov, 13, coming back at the blue line to Blinov, number 9 at center, over the line. 3 of them closing in. Here Mihailov right in. And a close call there for Dryden, who covered the short side. He wasn't just too sure where it came from. Perreault back at center. Over the line. Stopped by Kuskin. Blinov, number 9, down the far wing. 3 of them up again. Blinov pass to Mihailov. A dump pass to Kuskin. His shot was stopped. And the Canadian team break out at center ice. Coming down. Cornwallier passed. Mihailov lost it to Perreault. Right in front to Henderson on a player change. And they're making frequent changes. The puck is loose on that wing. Henderson covered his man. Perreault centered it in front. No one was there. Soviets clear out to center ice. And it hit Park's skate. Paul Henderson drives it over the line to Cornwallier. Coming right in on goal. And Krutjak didn't even budge on that one. Clark tried to dig it out from back of the net. It's knocked over to Cornwallier. Cornwallier slashes at Kuskin. Here's another chance for Stapleton, a dribbler. And again, The Soviet player is kind of slashed by Cournoyer. Down the left side for Anderson. The kid line out there. Bodanov was with him, and the shot went flying into the crowd. But the score, Russia 1, and Canada no score. This is game 4 from Vancouver. Soviets won, Canada no score, 14:28 left in the first period, and Canada had a setback on a penalty to Goldsworthy. A long clearing pass, Dennis Hull on that left wing, Goldsworthy on the right, Bill Esposito at center, Dennis Hull got his shot away, and it hit Poladiev's skate and went wide. There's a boarding check there. On that far side, there's going to be another penalty to Goldsworthy, who's overly aggressive. Canada recover the puck, and it's an elbow call on the play. They jammed into the boards.
Again, it's an example here in Goldsworthy getting this penalty. He made the play, the player got the puck away, and of course, being a little over-anxious, Goldsworthy goes in, he takes the check, which normally he probably wouldn't.
Canada's penalty, number 9, Bill Goldsworthy, 2 minutes for elbowing. 5 minutes 58 seconds. La punition de l'équipe du Canada, numéro 9, Bill Goldsworthy. 2 minutes pour avoir donné du coude à 5 minutes 58 secondes.
That's 2 penalties in a row for Goldsworthy. This one for elbowing at 5:58. The first one is 1:24. The Soviets took advantage. There's a long shot. Maltsev let it go, and the Canadian team will be in trouble again with a man short. Maltsev gets that puck again. His pass is knocked down. And Clark shot it down the ice. Clark and Ellis out there to kill off the penalty with Stapleton and Bill White. There's a long pass to Vikulov. It got away. Vikulov tried to go in there, but Stapleton was right on top of him. Harlamov got the pass, gets it again, getting it back to the blue line. Canada recovers, and they pass to Stapleton went astray. Raglan going into the corner, number 5. Gankov is his other defense player. Now Petrov on a player change, moving up at center, 16. A long shot. Dryden had to spear that one with his glove. He lost the puck right off the bat. Another chance for Mihailov. Back to Luchenko. And apparently it went over the blue line just by a fraction, and it was called as a result.
Dryden still looks just a little bit shaky on some of these shots. I don't think he, in his mind, has adjusted yet to how hard the Soviets can shoot the puck. Petrov let a slap shot go there that Dryden made a good save on, but he didn't look like he was right on top of the puck.
All set now for the face-off near the Canadian blue line. 1-0 for the Soviets. Clark got the draw. Mihailov. Here's Luchenko getting the shot. Dryden made the save. Dryden has been fighting that puck a bit, and the puck comes right down the ice to Luchenko, number 3 for the Soviets. Petrov takes his pass, going right back into their own zone again. Kuskin is beside him. Now he moves. Coming up at the blue line, pass on the left wing to Mihailov at center. Over on that right wing, they're closing in. Every man is up now for the pass. Here's Luchenko getting his shot. He scores! Luchenko let one go on a beautiful passing play, and the Soviets have taken a 2-0 lead.
Again, an example of perfect puck control. Look at them set up the puck control. Harlamov gets it right across. Luchenko moves in. Now again, Mihailov gets the stick down, deflects it up over Dryden. Dryden really had no chance on that. But again, it's an example. The Soviet power play is devastating. Penalties are going to cost you.
7:29, the scoring play, and we're not sure whether Mihailov will get credit on that shot by Luchenko, but he had his stick right in the way. We'll wait for the official. A long shot. Yes, Mihailov.
Assisted by number 3, Vladimir Luchenko, and number 16, Vladimir
With the score,
Petrov.
the Soviets 2 and Canada no score. This is game 4 from Vancouver. That is the same type of play there with Mihailov getting a stick in the way on Luchenko's shot in each case. So it's 2-0 for the Soviets, and almost identical goals in which it was doubtful whether Mihailov had really contacted the puck or not, but he did. And in each case, he gets the goal with Luchenko getting the assist. Petrov got the assist on the first one. 2:01 and 7:29 for the Soviets. And from the way they're playing at the moment, looks as if this could be a rough game.
Chippy play can only work to the advantage here of the Soviets because, of course, they're winning 2-0 right now.
Esposito at center ice, got that puck back at center. Sealing cleared it over on the far side to Park. It's dumped over the line. Vasiliev shot it out to center ice. And so far, the Canadian team have been unable to really untrack themselves. 2 penalties have been 2 goals. That power play really has them buffaloed. Vodunov coming down, this is the kid line on the left wing, over the line, still, and a shot there by Anderson that just went wide of the target. He took a slap shot, and they weren't supposed to know anything about the slap shot when they arrived. Sealing, 16, ahead on the right side to Gilbert. Over on that far wing, Hadfield knocked his man over. They fell into the boards. Esposito is trying to dig it out. He lost the puck. It shot down the ice. It's going right to the goal line, but not quite. And so it's got called, and Don Ori clears ahead to Mahovlich. Here's the shot. Tretiak knocked that down with his glove. Harlamov right into his own man. Esposito was right in there close. Harlamov nearly upset the apple cart there in front of the Soviet defense. Here's Harlamov taking a pass way offside. He's 17 and the big star of the team.
Here's a good look at the play from the low angle. You can see Tretiak moving around in that net to set up continually.
From the face-off, Perot out there now in center with Cournoyer and Frank Mahovlich. Harlamov out there with Mikulak and Maltsev. And a icing call, and the face-off is going to be in the Soviet zone to the left of Tretiak.
One thing that has been causing Team Canada a little bit of trouble in this first period is their defense are backing in a little bit, and they're giving the Soviets good puck control.
The face-off, the Soviets get the draw, lose it again on the boards, only to recover. Harlamov playing it to Maltsev, over to Mikulak, over the Canadian blue line, then Harlamov missed it. Frank Mahovlich coming back with Perot, the two of them over the line. Mahovlich cleared it front to Perot. Perot failed to get a shot, and the checking by the Soviets very close. Stankov over to Mikulak. Here's Maltsev, uncovered, right in on goal. Backhand just failed to click, but they're walking right in on that Canadian defense. Cournoyer passes back. Here's a shot by Perot. Went off the skate. Mihailov with Harlamov coming right back at center on a player change. Mihailov, who's been the big opportunist, deflecting 2 shots. Had a good chance there. Cournoyer to Mahovlich. To Perot over the line. Houston stopped in number 4. Head to Mihailov. And Mihailov, incidentally, wears 13, so you can see what a gallant soul he has to be. And he's had the 2 goals. And in each case, deflections. And hard to tell. Now Ellis down the right wing. Here's a shot. Tretiak covered that angle perfectly. 2-0 for the Soviets. Mihailov, 13. Passing ahead, just getting rid of it, really. Bill White took it at center ice, shot it right back in again. And the Canadian team are trying to turn the tide by putting pressure on. A pass, Henderson, but rolling in front and couldn't get a shot on goal. He's given a jolt against the boards. Klinov cuts back as they started out. Now he's turning. Petrov is waiting for him. Mihailov with him at center ice. He was thrown off balance. Petrov, 16 for the Soviet, clears right back to Mihailov. They have a man in position almost every time, regardless of the circumstances. Mihailov made a Rick-wide pass. Henderson got over there too late. Pat Stapleton gets a long shot away, and that was 5 for Tretiak. Quick pass by Vasiliev. Up ahead at center ice, the kid line coming in here. Lebedev is forced into the corner. Vodunov couldn't get it. Anderson from the corner shoots one behind the net. Table had failed to clear, and the Soviets are getting that puck in the corner, which is always dangerous. Puck comes over on the right side. Goldsworthy, who's had 2 penalties, played it over on the far wing to Bill Esposito, who got rid of it. Puck was in the Soviet zone. Failed to get away. Esposito intercepted a pass, and Dennis Hull, who can really blast it, failed to get a hard drive. Bill White keeps it in. The Goldsworthy, who flipped one high, and it goes over the glass into the crowd. With the score, the Soviets 2 and Canada no score. This is Game 4 from Vancouver. Hatfield sitting there pondering what has happened. 2-0 for the Soviet. Here's Esposito getting a quick shot. Tried to try it by Tretiak. Esposito working his heart out there. Had a good chance, but he couldn't force it through.
Esposito's great strength. Of course, he can fight anybody off in the face-off. Gets a good backhand. Tretiak covers up.
From the face-off, it's back to Bill White, whose backhand rolled wide. Dennis Hull center to Esposito, who's well covered by Raglan. Soviet coming out 3 abreast. Stopped by Goldsworthy and given to Bill White. Played it to Pat Stable and nearly cleared it onto his stick. Goldsworthy is watched by Mikulik, who steals the puck and knocks it to the corner. Bill White covered up with Maltsev, number 10, standing by.
A little bit of confusion there in Canada's end, and of course Bill White, with his experience, realizes that the best thing to do is trap the puck and let Coach Harry Sinden sort things out from behind the bench. Sinden has to be a little concerned. Of course, it's early in the game, but he is behind by 2 goals.
From the face-off, Raglan gets it at the blue line, takes a long shot that stopped. Perreault had a whack at it. Harlamov played it over on the far wing. Jankov shoots it into the Canadian zone. Mahovlich failed to get it out. Maltsev nearly cleared one onto his own player's stick. His ceiling goes into the corner, and the passing by the Canadian team in their own end is very ragged and leaving openings.
The forechecking by the Soviets right now is excellent. They're sending the first man in. He's playing the body. He's taking the man up against the boards. With his feet, he's trying to kick the puck back to one of his own teammates. And of course, Team Canada right now is scrambling a little bit to try and get untracked and get back into this game.
It would appear to me that the Canadian team are playing back to that first game in Montreal. They just aren't sure of themselves. A long shot. Ori is going back to the net. Ori is now on the move for Canada, the blue line. On the right side, cleared it in. He ran into Lecheko. Kuskin cleared into the corner. Cornwallis going in back to the net. Tried to dig it out. He did. Mahovlich couldn't get it. Cornwallis shoots. And they all ducked, and it went into the crowd. Kuskin was down on his knees. Petrov beside there, and Mihailov.
We saw Kuskin, a perfect example of how well they use their feet in front of the net. Of course, he had lost track of the puck with his eyes, but he kept his feet moving, and he eventually got down on the puck. It got pushed away. Cornwallis tried to blast the puck right back through the whole maze and hoped that it would go right through. Of course, it deflected and went up out of play.
Hatfield on the left wing, Gilbert on the right, Perreault at center ice. Lecheko has had 2 assists. Both his shots deflected by Mihailov for scoring plays. Lecheko shoots it out at center. He's checked by Bledoff, and the puck goes flying over the glass into the crowd. 6 minutes and 4 seconds remaining in the first period. 2-0 for the USSR.
There's Coach Bobrov. Of course, they don't show a tremendous amount of emotion, but he has to be a little more relaxed with a 2-goal lead than Coach Sinden on the other side of the rink.
Canadians get the puck. Here's Hatfield having it hop over his stick from the corner. Hatfield trying to get it back to Perreault, to the blue line to Seelig. It bounced off the Soviet player. It still bounced off the second time, and they're certainly making it tough in the Soviet zone when they're checking. Petrov, 16 at center. Bledoff on his right, Mihailov on the left. In the corner. This is where the Canadian team are falling out. The Soviets recover that puck, set right in front. Roller was stopped on that play by Perreault. But again, the Canadian team are failing to recover that puck in the corners, and that's a disaster, especially in their own zone. Puck goes in back to the Soviet goal. The trying to dig that puck out in front. Esposito trying to backhand. Kutchak handle it with ease. Mihailov couldn't get past center. Ori draws his check ahead to Hetfield at center, 11 for Canada, to Esposito. A long shot wide of the net. Canadian team haven't been able to break in on that defense with any real direct drive. It's down the far side. Lebedev going in on with Vodnov. The pass comes to the Canadian team. It's over on the Dennis Hull, getting his shot away and missed by about 10 feet. Ellis from the corner couldn't recover. It's back again for the Soviets. Lebedev in front of the net as Vodnov tried, while sliding on the ice, to deflect it. Canada trying to get that puck out of their own zone, and it's been hard. Esposito at center with Ellis on his right. Back to Dennis Hull. A shot. Kutchak made that save. Puck bounces all the way back at center ice. Brad Park, as they're changing on the go, ran into Anderson. Here they come again. Lebedev with Anderson getting in front to Harlamov. Then a deflection. Another shot. And Dryden will stop that one with Lebedev right at the doorstep. With the score, the Soviets 2 and Canada no score. This is Game 4 from Vancouver.
What the Soviets have been doing so well is playing their positions. Team Canada are having a tendency to chase the puck a little too much.
Maltsev knocked the puck to the boards on that face-off. Bill White lobbed it into Pat Stapleton, who's skating up to get it to the blue line at center. The pass didn't reach Ellis. Ragland shooting it down the ice. Bill White, 17 for Canada. A long pass to Paul Henderson failed to click. Soviet takeover at center ice. Nikoluk, 18, takes a shot high, but they always seem to get a shot when they feel that they have the opportunity, but they never shoot until they feel they have a good chance.
I can't emphasize how important it is to play your position in this type of hockey. The Soviets are doing it exceptionally well.
Bill White from the face-off goes with a pass over to Henderson, who's blocked there. Now Stapleton trying to help him out, knocked it back to Dryden. And Dryden made sure there was no monkey business by going down low to cover.
In a close checking game, if you do play your positions or close to your man, you have a 50-50 chance of getting that puck every time it's passed.
3:15 left in the first period. Soviets leading 2-0. A long pass to Henderson. Ellis follows in, couldn't control that puck, and it's shot out to center ice. Pat Stapleton backing up. 3 minutes left. Now on that left side, Henderson in front. Kutchak caught that with his glove as Clark let one go.
Kutchak has an amazingly quick hand, because he there looked like he was a little too close to the post and he was right back into the net, but the big glove came up and took that shot of Bobby Clark's.
Petrov is going out to center ice. There's Bobrov, the coach. He seems to be even more active in this game tonight than others. From the face-off, here's a chance. There's Frank Mahovlich, hit a skate. Blinov, 9 in the Canadian zone. Keeps on going from Petrov. Took his shot, and Dryden was down low to cover up on that close call.
This shot causes Dryden a lot of trouble, because he wasn't absolutely sure that Blinov loses it. He gets it back, kicks it up with his foot. Now he's not sure, he's not going to try to go out in front. And Dryden fell back into the net.
From the face-off, Canada recover, and it's down the right side. Perreault was squeezed right out on the play by Lutsenko. Kuskin in front of his own net, over to Blinov, up to center ice with Petrov and Mihailov. Here's Mihailov's shot, went bouncing high, caught by Dryden. And this Mihailov is playing quite a game in this first period, having been given credit for the first 2 scoring plays in which he deflected each one after Lutsenko's shot. It was just one of those things, but they all count. Tremendous crowd here. There's not a space anywhere, and they were lined up trying to get tickets in Vancouver for some time. Here's a long shot by Lutsenko that failed to click. He fanned on it, really. Slides out to center. Hadfield took a long shot. Kutriak caught it coolly with his glove. The long pass goes down the ice. It's not going to go right that far because it's sticking on the ice. The Soviets recover. Klinov, great opportunist. Klinov was knocked sideways, though, as they squeezed him out. Esposito tried to come up at center, but he was alone. Then, pass over in that far wing. Kuskin couldn't follow through. A long pass out, rather aimlessly, though, and it slides down into the Soviet zone. Vasiliev went back, but it's icing.
The Soviets' checking here has been so close. They've been sticking so close to their men that Team Canada really has been forced into a one-on-one situation where they're trying to do it by themselves, and there's a great lack of team unity so far in this first period by Team Canada.
Soviets have had quite a margin in the play in this first period and have earned that 2-0 lead, even though both goals were rather spotty, and that was deflection. Here they come again. A shot right on Dryden, and a hard one at that by this Anderson, and this is his kid line, the 20-year-old. Dennis Hull from center ice fired one that Kutriak knocked down. Vladiev played it over on the wing. Bodnov failed to get out. Now to the blue line, a long shot at center. 1 minute left as they drive it over the line, and it's an icing call. But the defensive work of the Soviets has really been outstanding in this game so far.
Not only have they been back-checking exceptionally well, but they are not afraid to come up the ice, and if the pattern isn't set up properly, they turn back into their end, and this seems to be causing Team Canada some confusion as to who they should actually check when the Soviets turn back into their end.
Esposito out there with Dennis Hull and Goldsworthy, number 9. He's had 2 penalties, and they've cost the Canadian team 2 goals. So you can't play men short against this Soviet team. They jam against the boards. Dennis Hull was reached against the boards there by Sagankov, so they know how to bump. Then Harlamov was knocked over by Esposito, a trip. Esposito will get a tripping penalty, so that's 3 Canadian penalties in a row.
This is one of the hardest penalties to give. Watch Harlamov. He cuts back to the inside. He actually trips himself a bit.
Penalty number 7.
Of course, when you try to jump over the stick, Esposito was trying to check him. He goes down. A 2-minute penalty. Let's hope it's not a costly one.
Au numéro 7, Phil Esposito. 2 minutes pour avoir fait trébucher à 19 minutes 29 secondes.
All set for the face-off, with the Soviets still showing great power out there. Clark is now at center with Ellis. They're going to try and kill off this 3rd penalty. Bergman and Park on the Canadian defense. Clark and Ellis out there. Raglan shot it out over the line. Maltsev is on the right. Harlamov back to Sagankov, who's dumped on the play by Clark. Raglan over on the wing. A shot goes wide. Harlamov getting it back to Raglan, and you see how they monopolize the play. It's back to Sagankov. Another shot. Dryden got that one with the side of his stick, and they just pass that puck around a la New York Rangers in the old days.
The Soviets have a great tendency on their power play to get the puck to number 7, Sagankov. They shoot right from the slot area, but well back towards the blue line. A very dangerous shot.
Maltsev ready for the face-off. Mikulov and Harlamov on the wings as the buzzer goes to end the first period. With the score, the Soviets 2 and Canada no score. This is Game 4 from Vancouver. Capping the first period, Mikhailov deflected Luchenko's shot to get the first Soviet goal at 2:01. Petrov was also given an assist. At 7:29, Mikhailov did almost the same thing, deflecting Luchenko's shot, and it was 2-0 for the Soviets. 3 penalties, 2 to Goldsworthy, one at 1:24, one at 5:58, and then the last one at Esposito for tripping at 19:29, and that penalty will carry over into the second period. Today, CBC celebrates 20 years of television on the English Language Network. This 20th anniversary year will feature some of the finest programs ever shown on TV, and you can look forward to seeing the tops in the world of sports. Players are out on the ice, getting ready for the start of the second period. Canadian team still disorganized and playing back to that first game of the series. And as you know, this is a key game for the Canadian series, each team having won one and tied one. Soviet team to our left, and the Canadian team to the right, and the Soviets get the draw right off the bat. Mikhailov, who has scored 2 goals, now recovering and getting back on the right wing. Fooled Clark, gets over on that left side, cleared a pass to Harlamov, who's bumped by Bergman. Bergman clears it. Luchenko, who fired both shots, number 3, going in back of the net. He got the 2 assists. Harlamov cleared right on to Ellis' stick. Canadians still a man short. Esposito was off. Kuskin failed to get anywhere. Now Harlamov, 17. Up to the blue line. He'll go into the corner, then pass it back. It didn't go very far. Ellis shot it down the ice. Kuskin is going back. 35 seconds left in the penalty to Canada. Up to center ice. Over the line, a pass to Petrov, uncovered. Petrov passed back to Harlamov, a loose puck, and Canada shoot it down the ice. Ellis getting it away. Kuskin, number 4, cuts in front of his own net as Canada makes a change. A long pass goes into the corner. Bergman in there first. Bates, Vodnov to it. The kid line out there for the Soviets. A long pass too far from Mahovlich. As they're changing on the go, Bill White and Pat Stapleton out now. The Canadian team at full strength. Down the right wing for Anderson. A pass on the left wing. The shot is deflected high when Lebedev let it go. Lebedev goes into the corner to recover again. They give him a bounce. Frank Mahovlich played it back to the net to Pat Stapleton. Into the corner to Bill White. Up now to the blue line to Gilbert. Passing on the left side. Mahovlich tried to pass in front, and Esposito was back a bit. Quick pass down the far wing. Lebedev going into the corner. It was over the red line, so it's called for icing. 17:53 remaining in the second period.
Foster, it's a good time just to remind Canadians, of course the people in British Columbia appreciate this, that the Trail Smoke Eaters were the last Canadian team to beat the Russians in World Hockey in 1961 with coach Bobby Crom, and Jackie McLeod was the leading scorer.
From the face-off, Perreault had a good chance. Hadfield over to Arnoyer. He was too well covered on the play. Bodnov goes down that left wing, up over the line. They jam him against the boards. Here's 2 of them in front, but the pass goes astray. The puck slides out, and Arnoyer was unable to reach it. Back go the Soviets. Over the line, a drop pass. Goes astray. Stapleton ahead. Perreault, 33, going in. Here's a shot. Oh, that was close. Bodnov touched it. It was offside on the clearing pass. 2-0 for the USSR, and they had a good margin in the first period. Another change of players. Hadfield is coming out with Esposito. Esposito's going back again. They're not too sure. Looks like the Clark line. Clark, Ellis, and Henderson. Clark 28, Ellis 6, Henderson 19, wearing the red helmet. From the face-off, the Soviet get that draw. They're getting it quite often. Maltsev. Now another tries to Gankov, the defense player, going in with Henderson covering him, but he got that pass over just the same, and it's flipped out to center ice. Maltsev recovering for the Soviet, number 10. He got rid of it, and Raglan cleared out. Vikulov was right there to take it. Maltsev going in on the right. The pass didn't reach him. A long pass to Ellis failed to click. Soviet take it over the line. Raglan took an easy shot at Dryden. Maltsev couldn't break up the rush. Henderson is squeezed out, and Gankov did the heavy checking. Vikulov 18 for the Soviets. Pass right on to Henderson's stick and bounced away. Harlamov over to his defenseman, Ragulin, to Maltsev. Maltsev going to center ice, number 10, over the line, missed Bill White's check. On the drive, that was a real shot that went wide. Seemed to have Dryden beaten if it was on. From the corner, Henderson, 19, is squeezed out. And the Soviets, if you'll notice, and it's hard to notice it, are hitting quite hard. With the Soviets 2 and Canada no score, this is Game 4 from Vancouver. Kuskin was speaking to the coach, Bobrov. Here's some more strategy. Here's a shot. Tried to stop it. Right to the line. Oh, that was close. Dryden stopped that one with his hand in the air, dropped right on the goal line. Watch this.
Dryden is definitely shaky tonight. This was not an exceptionally hard shot. He gets it away quickly. Dryden gloves it, now drops it. Now the defenseman very alertly. This puck is going in the net. And the defenseman, number 16, Sealing, stops the goal.
They're underway. It goes where they left that puck there. And the Canadian team are having a hard time attacking themselves. The Soviets stole the puck only to lose it again. A long shot goes into the corner. Goals where they're going back to the net. Out there with Esposito and Dennis Hull. Hull is 10. Esposito keeps it in. The puck goes around back to the net. Kuskin, number 4, after it. It's a deflection out to center ice. Sealing on the defense with Ori. Kuskin shot it on the boards. Maltsev clears out at center ice. It's blocked by Ori ahead to Dennis Hull. Dennis Hull 10, shoots it in, but really no system. Luchenko rushes over to get a loose puck at center ice, only to be stopped. Petrov ahead to Blinov alone, one man back. Blinov cruising in, left a pass. Mihailov's drive was wide, but they always make that play. Here's Mihailov shooting from the Petrov shooting from the side. Back to the blue line to Kuskin, and Dryden had to grab that one with Mihailov right on top of them as the Soviets really are outplaying them.
The Soviet pressure here is intense. Dryden under tremendous pressure right in front of the goal mouth, gets his glove down on top of the puck. Foster, I can't say enough the way the Soviets are forcing Team Canada to play scrambly hockey. It's not like they're doing it intensely by any means. The Soviets forechecking and their back-checking is so relentless that they are forcing Team Canada to make all sorts of mistakes.
The Soviets are really playing their best game of the series. That's the difference. Now, Perot coming up at center ice, over the line, showing a burst of speed, going right in, centered it, running forward. I believe the Soviet player knocked it into his own net. It looks like Ragulin, who hit the puck. Perot gets credit.
A tremendous individual effort by Gilles Perot. The length of the ice, good work here. Now Vasiliev trying to stop it. It hits his skate and up into the top corner off the Soviet defenseman. Again, a beautiful effort by Gilles Perot. A good burst of speed, but the Soviet deflected into the net.
Le but de l'équipe Canada, compté par le numéro 23, Gilbert Perrault, sans aide.
Harlamov tested Dryden with a long shot after the faceoff. Now Canada back in the race here, 2-1. Perrault coming through, unassisted. Here's Harlamov going in front of the goal, right in front of the net. And Dryden was down, out of the play, with Maltsev standing right on the corner. So you'll see how they work in here.
Here's an example. If Harlamov had a shot the puck and let Maltsev standing on the corner play the rebound, they would have had a better opportunity to score instead of passing off and nullifying the play by Dryden.
Perrault getting a great hand for an individual effort. A scoring play for Canada at 5:37. So now it's the Soviets 2, Canada 1. That should give the Canadian team a lift and settle them down a bit. Maltsev coming back on the right wing. Failed to get past the defense. Able to pass. Skankov cleared to the open wing. And every time the Soviets pass that, running into Ellis, right in with a backhand. Oh, it's a loose in front of the net. Rutjak was beaten on the play, but Henderson couldn't get there in time.
Tretiak was beaten here. Ronnie Ellis goes to the outside. A good backhand. Stays on top of the puck. Tretiak loses it. Of course, the Soviet defensemen scramble in front of the net. Zagankov and Ragulin stop Bobby Clark from bouncing it into the open net. A fine effort all the way around, Foster.
Yes, it looks to me as if this Canadian team will get a big lift out of that scoring play by Perreault, primarily by the way he did it. Here's Henderson getting his shot. Tretiak stopped that one, and that was a close call again. So the Canadian team is getting fired up and getting what they've lacked so far is confidence in themselves. Perreault, one assistant. All set now for the face-off. 13:35 left in the second period. Henderson back to Stapleton. It's blocked by Petrov. A 2-on-1. Bill White back. Right shot, a shot. It's goal! Right from that left wing. A perfect play by Blinov. And the Soviet have got that one back very quickly.
That is going to hurt Team Canada. A perfect pass under the defenseman's stick. Blinov makes no mistake. A hard drive right between Dryden's legs. What you'll see here, now watch Petrov put it inside White's stick and his leg. That's the perfect place to play the pass.
Soviet Union's goal scored by number 9, Yuri Blinov, assisted by number 16, Vladimir Petrov, and number 13, Boris Mikhailov, at 6 minutes 34 seconds. Le but de l'Union soviétique compté par le numéro 9, Yuri Blinov.
Scoring play, Blinov at 6:34. Petrov and Mikhailov getting the assist, so that's 3 points for Mikhailov. Here the Soviet in front of the Canadian goal, but they failed to get a shot on the net. So the score is now 3-1 for the USSR.
I hope we don't see Team Canada go back into their shell, because they were definitely coming out of it and playing much better hockey.
Face off in the Canadian zone. The puck is recovered by Hatfield. Ahead now to Gilbert. Gilbert, number 8, stops. Cleared the pass, intercepted. And is carried right down at center ice. A fake shot by Shadman, who's a spare player in the game. They jam into the corner. It's over on the far side. Hatfield comes up in center. Over the line. Here's Gilbert faking. And a shot right across the goal line. Tretiak had it covered, though. The puck is at center ice. Soviet attacking Bikolov. Number 18 getting in with a drive, and it's wide. But how they get these shots, the Canadian defense backing up almost on every occasion. There's a collision. Hatfield bumped into Paladiev right at the Soviet line. Quick pass on the left wing. The Soviets cruising in. Bikolov had a shot blocked on the fence. Esposito knocks it around back of the net to Sealing. Cornwallis is on that far wing. A long pass. Cornwallis right through. Oh, he went right through. And a great save there by Tretiak. Return rush by the Soviets. A drop pass and a drive. Right. Deflected that with his glove. Zagankov checked it. 2-on-1. A pass again to Cornwallis going right in the goal. And he went in the net and the puck stayed out. Esposito had set him up. That's 2 in a row that Cornwallis unable to cash in on. But he made a great effort. Zagankov goes in on the defense with Vasiliev clearing it out. Mike Mahavlich played it over to Esposito. Here's a shot. And Tretiak grabbed that one with his left glove. With the score, the Soviets 3 and Canada 1. This is game 4 from Vancouver. Ready for the face-off in the Soviet zone. 3-1 for the Soviets. Cornwallis. Here's the penalty coming to Kuzkin for tripping. Kuzkin upset Cornwallis, who's been tearing in there and coming very close. That's Kuzkin going over to the penalty box, number 4.
Soviet Union's penalty number 4, Victor Kuzkin. 2 minutes for tripping at 8 minutes 39 seconds. La punition de l'Union soviétique au numéro 4, Victor Kuzkin. 2 minutes pour avoir rétrébuché à 8 minutes 30 secondes.
Canada will have the first chance with the Soviets shorthanded, and you can see the tenseness in the faces of the tremendous throng here in Vancouver. Mahavlich passed that puck, it's intercepted, and Mihailov, who's been a standout in the game for the Soviets, 2 goals and an assist, and Dryden caught that one with a little derision from the fans. On the corner, Petrov covers up, and Gilles Perreault couldn't get that puck loose. Cornwallis is over on the right wing there. Bergman is a defense player with Brad Park. Esposito coming out, Mahavlich stepping on. Here comes Sealing. And Bergman is coming over to the Canadian bench. Bobroff is doing a little directing of traffic as well. Petrov and Mihailov are trying to kill off the penalty for the Soviets, 16 and 13. Mahavlich couldn't get up there in time. Vichenko broke it up. Esposito goes over the line, a drop pass to Cornwallis. He's checked. Brad Park knocks it into the side. Rangelin had his pass partially blocked. Frank Mahavlich standing there, over to Parker, the shot! Oh, it went over the top corner with Esposito doing his best there to hustle Tretiak out of position.
Had that shot by Park been a little lower, it could have caused Tretiak a lot of trouble because he was backed up right in the net. He left a lot to shoot at.
From the face-off, a loose puck, and the Soviet cleared out at center. Petrov was able to move it. Mihailov covers his man on that wing. Canada takes over. Cornwallis playing it to Mahavlich at center. A shot right around the boards. That's something the Soviets don't do. They hang on to that puck. It's puck control all the time, whereas the Canadian team shoot it in and chase after it, which is not very effective.
Coming up on our second intermission, we'll have an interview with Tony Esposito, an interesting travel feature for those going to Moscow, Billy Warwick of the 1955 Penticton Vs, and of course Howie Meeker will be back with the highlights.
On that last play, you notice the difference where the Canadian team are getting rid of the puck, whereas the Soviets are hanging on to it and they don't shoot until they think they have a good chance. They're always passing the puck, whereas the Canadian team has been carrying it up and then shooting it in and trying to recover. Quite a difference in styles. The pass back to the blue line, Sealing played it into the corner. Esposito tried to deflect it. It's caught by Tretiak, who really has a glove hand there, and he's working it overtime.
There's no question that the man they have to get the puck to is Phil Esposito, and of course he's in the prime real estate about 15 feet out in front of that net.
From the face-off, Gladiev shoots it down the ice, and so far the Canadian team haven't been dangerous while they have the man advantage for the first time in the game. Now the puck is back to the Canadian goal. They start coming up slowly, led by Park, ahead to Esposito. Hadfield coming in on the left side. The puck is bounced. Gilbert from Hadfield. Gilbert from Hadfield.
There'll be no goal here because Rod Gilbert definitely skated through the goal crease, turned his skate sideways. Vic Hadfield's pass hit him on the ankles and bounced into the net. A good play by Vic Hadfield, fighting the puck a little bit, but he gets it out. Gilbert skates, and it goes into the net. The referee nullifies the goal. Coming up from the rear, we can see Brad Park, good puck control. Gets it through. Esposito goes to Hadfield. Now, Gilbert comes into your picture, turns sideways, hits his skate, and in the net. No goal.
Gilbert didn't appear to kick it, but it went in off his skate. Now, of course, the Canadian team are claiming that the only attempt was made to kick it, that it should count because it just bounced off his skate. But the officials decide otherwise, and they have the last say.
I must say, Foster, that the official was standing right on the goal line. He had good concentration on the puck.
So it's still 3-1 for the Soviets. Canada take that over the line. Park couldn't control it with his glove. down the right side from Mihailoff. A drive right on. Tried to stop that. He didn't know where to go to. Just bounced wide of the net. Dryden is a little shaky in there. Up the center ice, over the line. A long shot was wide of the goal. Now the Soviets are at full strength. And Kuskin is on, number 4. Seelig stopped him. Luchenko shoots it down the ice. Brad Park going back on the icing call. And that last, what appeared to be a scoring play by Gilbert from Hatfield, was disallowed because it was kicked in by the ruling of the official.
Harry Sinden pacing behind the net, and his anxieties have to be growing at this stage.
Face-off is going to be in the Soviet zone. Petrov, 16, is at center ice. The Clark line out there for Canada. Clark, Henderson, and Ellis. Yakushev now out there for the first time in the game. Cleared over onto the right side. He's mixing up with the young ones. Here's a loose puck there. And Shadron, these are the two extra players for the Soviet. They're getting their first try.
If that puck hadn't have been deflected, Shadron was sitting all alone there, and it was only a scramble by one of the defensemen that got back in time to deflect that puck over the boards.
Vladiev, 26, is standing at the blue line, so look out for squalls here as here's a shot. Over the top as Dryden ducked. Soviets get Anderson getting it back, but Vladiev missed it. Vladiev plays it over on the far wing. Shadron had it bounce off his stick. They carry over the line. Yakushev with Anderson, and they fail to go through. Shot right back on the defense to Vasiliev. Over on the right side, Vladiev will stop. Cleared over the line. Ellis tearing in there on that wing with Vasiliev covering him. Petrov ahead to Yakushev. Up to the blue line, a three-man break for the Soviet. Yakushev drops the pass back. The shot is wide. It's into the corner where the Soviets seem to always recover. They still have it there. Yakushev's shot hit Stapleton. He gets it again, took his shot, and it's stopped on the play there by Dryden. And the puck rolls out to Clark. Pat Stapleton goes right down over the line to Henderson. Henderson's pass was knocked down by Shadron. Shadron is partially stopped. Henderson getting it back. And then Stapleton cleared it right back to Dryden. And the Canadian team are having their troubles. Cleared pass by Stapleton to Dennis Hull. Over on the far side to Goldsworthy. Yakushev was hit by Dennis Hull on that last play. And the puck is now again at center ice. Vasiliev over to Vikolov. He failed to go through, but Maltsev followed, but they were offside. With the score, the Soviets 3 and Canada 1. This is Game 4 from Vancouver. All ready for the soft. Raglan is returning a helmet to the Soviet bench. 3-1 for the USSR. 7:10 left in the second period. Here's a loose puck. Harlamov wormed his way through. Got it again. Gets a pass in front of the net. Vikolov lost it. Harlamov patches the Gankov. And the drive was about 3 feet wide. Seelig played it back to Ori, who shot it on the boards out to center ice. Another chance goes to center ice. Esposito shooting it into the corner. Ragulin covers his man, and the Soviet recovered with Esposito stopping him. Gankov shot it out on the right wing. Ori going back to recover. Harlamov is after him. Vikolov trying to get him too. Dennis Hull scooped it back to the Canadian goal. Seelig into the corner with Vikolov after him. Seelig still trying to get that puck out of there. Maltsev took it from him. Harlamov turning, getting a backhand right foot. He scored! Vikolov from Harlamov. Vikolov firing it in, and it all looks so easy.
This is an example. Now 3 Canadians go into the corner. Of course, the 3 of them are in the corner, the opening in front of the net. Harlamov, good puck control. Vikolov sweeps it in the short side. He caught Dryden going down, and he put it up over his pad.
13-52.
Soviet Union's goal scored by number 18, Vladimir Vikulov, assisted by number 17, Valery Karmalov, and number 10, Alexander Maltsev, at 13 minutes, 52 seconds.
13-52. Vikulov from Harlamov. They were the two main ones in. Now Blinov comes in over the line, and the pass goes astray. 5:49 remaining now in the second period, with the Soviets leading 4-1 and have had a big margin in the play. Petriak is being held on that last play by Mahavlich, who stuck right with him. Petriak couldn't even get up, and he must have held him out there for about 10 seconds. Puck is Petrov at center ice. Mihailov closing in, weaving in front. A pass goes astray, and Bergman went sliding down to cover, so there was no pass.
The Canadian defense is not standing up. They're getting in trouble. They're going for the fake, and the Soviet player is walking right into the slot, and then he's making a perfect pass either to his left or to his right. Bergman and Park have both backed up on several occasions, giving the Soviets the option to either shoot or pass off to one of his teammates.
At last, Soviet goal, 13-52, Vikulov from Harlamov and Maltsev. A long shot on Dryden from the face-off. Dryden is still rather shaky, but the Soviets are really making it tough, with the USSR leading 4-1, and they're flying. They're great front runners, too. Now Perot tried to go through there, failed. Garnoyer took a chance. But you'll notice that it's all individual efforts. Quite a difference. A three-man rush with Yakushev driving one wide. He had to grab it off the boards. Anderson was with them on that play, so that they're putting a few of the veterans out there with the kids.
A somewhat dejected Frank Mahavlich leaving the ice.
The crowd didn't seem to like the fact that Mahavlich was sitting on Petriak there for what seemed like 10 seconds. Kept him right out of the play, but nobody could get a shot on the net. Shadron is going to face off. Got the draw, as they generally do. Here's a shot. It's wide, as Vasiliev let it go. Here's another shot, as Yakushev took a whack at it. Anderson in the corner. He's one of that kid line. Shadron got his pass to the blue line, and the Soviet are monopolizing the play into the corner. Stapleton got it out, but Clark was unable to control the puck, and the Soviet take over again. Shadron over on the right side. Vasiliev going into the corner, number 6. Stapleton knocked him down. Bill White rang it on the right side. Ellis with Henderson. Henderson tried to deflect it ahead of himself, went into the corner, centered it in front. Puck is recovered by the Soviet. A two-man break on one. Yakushev, 15, going in on the right side. Bill White deflected his shot with his stick. Ellis knocked the puck out, and sticks went a bit high on that play. With the score, the Soviets 4 and Canada 1. Dryden steered that one to the side. He's been hard-pressed in this game. Canadian team knocked it over the line, passing back at center ice. Ragulin shoots it over the line. Pat Stapleton played it out. Maltsev passed to Vikulov. Vikulov goes right back to get it. He's number 18. He scored the last goal. And they're showing some nifty moves. Bill White to Pat Stapleton. Ahead at center, the Canadian team just can't get away. Here's a quick break for the Soviets. A bad pass that time to Henderson, who cleared it out at center. Ragulin 5, going back to get it. This appears to be the Soviets' best effort of the series, and they're flying. Maltsev at center ice, going up to Harlamov on his right here. Harlamov right here. And his drive at a terrific speed was just off the target. Bouncing back into the Soviet zone. They're coming again. They keep control of that puck all the time. Harlamov weaving over on that far wing. Made the pass. Sheko just stepped up and couldn't get there in time. And the Canadian team seemed to be tiring under this terrific pressure. Mihailov, 13, goes all the way back into his own zone, but boy, they can stick handle. And they don't let lose that puck for a moment until they're sure. There's Mihailov going waiting again, and it's shot let off Dryden's skate just wide. Petrov couldn't keep it in, but it was shot there by Ragland with Bill White going back to the net. And the Canadian team are bottled right up. Hadfield now to Bill White. He stopped. A three-man break. Here's Mihailov going in, a drop pass. Petrov fired it wide. And how they pour in there. Puck rolls to center ice. Hadfield golfs one. Retziak finally had to stop one as the Soviet monopolized the play. Corey is going back on that icing call.
Canadian professional football returns to the CBC television network on September the 9th. The Montreal Alouettes meet the Ottawa Rough Riders live from Lansdowne Park, Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. For Sunday football fans, Hamilton plays at Toronto, and the Calgary Stampeders are in Edmonton.
1:39 left in the second period, and the Canadian team are having a tough time of it. A shot by Perreault out there with Cornwallier and Frank Mahovlich. Went wide. The puck slides down the ice, and it's called for icing. So far, the Canadian team have been unable to get a man in position there at the crucial time. Yakushev going down there now. There's Tretiak. Look at him on the corner of the goal crease. Puck rolls in front of the Soviet defense out to center ice. Ori shoots it into the Soviet zone, and it's brought back at center ice. Shadron goes into the corner. He just fell that time. Ori lobbed it on the glass on that far wing. It slides out over the line. Canada on the attack. Perreault going into the Hovlich for the shot. And just as he let go, Paladiev got in front to deflect it. Perreault going in back to the net. Perreault playing a solid game for Canada. Seems to be the main threat on the attack. Up is back to the Canadian blue line to Mahovlich. Over to Cornwallier. He failed to go through. Yakushev on that left wing to center ice. Over the line. Yakushev turning with Anderson. Stopped by Frank Mahovlich. He picked off the pass. Cleared it over onto the wing to Sealing. Sealing going in too far. Was bumped into the boards by Vasilia. A two-man break for the Soviet with Bergman back. Here's Anderson coming up 22. Slowed down. Yakushev getting in. Right in front of the goal. Anderson hit the pass. And Dryden made the save, but a perfect passing play that came very close. Dennis Hull cleared it off the boards. Another try for Shadron coming from the side, and the siren goes to end the second. A game, they tied one. Now then from the faceoff, Maltsev gets it to Vikolov, number 18, but he failed to get his shot. And they don't shoot that puck either until they get a good chance. Maltsev on the far wing is covered by Bergman. Puck goes into the corner. Ellis out there with the Clark line. Ellis and Henderson. As the puck is shot off the boards, Park goes up at center ice. lobbed it to the Soviet defense. Henderson nearly had a chance there. Sagankov failed to clear properly. Here they're coming in from the side, and a shot from the wing there by Henderson went right at Tretiak. Soviet regrouping now. Sagankov, number 7, a very solid defense player. Henderson coming in on the open side. He waited too long to get it away, and the shot was deflected. Bergman keeping it in. Henderson was out there in front, uncovered. Harlamov ahead at center ice. Nikolov couldn't control it, fell. They're changing players on the go. Ragulin over to Sagankov, back to Mihailov, 13. Blanov, 9, is waiting for a pass over on that right wing. Mihailov gets it to him finally, but he's going right to the Soviet line. Now they find a man open. Mihailov going in on the defense. Went by Park, but Bergman stopped him. Luchenko to Petrov, 16. Petrov lobbed it ahead. Mihailov was over the red line, and it's offside.
When Team Canada is getting the puck, instead of establishing control initially, it appears that they're just passing the puck off somewhat in desperation.
8:23 left in the first half of the third period, and then at the 10-minute mark they will change ends. 4-1 for the USSR over Canada, and they've had a definite margin in the play in every department. Bill White getting in for a shot, but it was hurried and wide. Dennis Howell out there on the left wing. Esposito's at center, number 7. Esposito cleared on the right side to Goldsworthy. Goldsworthy to Esposito, but he was squeezed out, and they're really checking. There's a grab there. There'll be a penalty. Esposito was grabbed on the play. The Soviet player just held out his hands and said, well, what can you do? And he had a real hold.
Petrov puts the big bear hug on Phil Esposito, taking him down from behind the net. With a man as dangerous as Esposito, what can you do?
2 minutes, 1 second.
2:01, a penalty to Petrov for holding. So now for the second time in the game, Canada will have the odd man advantage. So far, they haven't been able to do very much against this stout defense and the fast-closing forwards.
There have only been a few penalties, so this is a very critical power play for Canada.
From the face-off, Cornwallis to Mahavlich to the blue line, over to there's a pass. Gilbert passed it, and it was intercepted, brought down by Mihailov to center ice. Shadron is with him, waiting. He still has it on that wing, and then let it go with Park recovering. Park played it over to Esposito on the right wing. A drop pass to Gilbert. Gilbert cruising in on the right side was stopped by Raglan, with Shadron shooting it out to center. Cornwallis, number 12, cleared it and intercepted by Luchenko and knocked back. And here's the difference on the passing plays. Watch it. Esposito up on the forward pass, closing in, right in on goal. And it bounced off Tretiak. Ragulin forced him to the corner. Luchenko recovers the puck, shot it off Gilbert's stick down the ice, and Park is back of the net. Mahavlich going the wrong way, turns into the corner in front of the net. Frank Mahavlich to the blue line at center ice. Every man up over the line. Partially checked. Back again to the blue line. Cornwallis couldn't get a shot. Park lets one go. It stopped. Mahavlich couldn't head on his skate a scramble around the goal, but no one could get a real shot on the net. Shot down the ice. Mihailov going down with Dryden clearing it on the boards. Hadfield steps out with Sealing. Up to center ice. Cornwallis going in on the offside. He laced one at Tretiak. And Bob Robb was greatly excited about that one.
That was a beautiful pass by Vic Hadfield to Ivan Cornwallis, who was breaking in there, but Tretiak just came out and very coolly handled that sizzling shot by Ivan Cornwallis.
Face-off will be marked at center ice, 4-1 for the Soviets. in this last period, 6:19 in the first half. Puck is back into the Soviet zone. Harlamov was bowled over when he collided with Garnoyer. Now the Canadian team attack. Perot is out there with Hadfield, who grabbed the Soviet player Harlamov. A one-man break. Here's a shot by Maltsev that went wide. Bounces off the boards to Garnoyer. Down the right side past Kuskin, but he couldn't get his shot. Zagankov drove it right down the ice.
An interesting thing there, Maltsev had a one-on-one situation, lets a terrific shot go, and if you notice, it was also Maltsev who came back and checked Ivan Cournoyer going the other way. Their pursuit is absolutely fantastic.
The face-off is going to be to the left of the Soviet goal. Goldsworthy is coming out on the right wing as the Canadian team make a change. Soviet weathered that penalty without too much difficulty. They had the Canadian team pressing too hard. Perot is now at center, number 33. And he's been one of the main threats for Canada, along with Cournoyer, who's been showing lots of speed, but not too accurate around the net. Yakushev cleared it over to Anderson. Anderson weaves in there, back to Shadron. Shadron's pass to Anderson, right by the net. Oh, that was close, a perfect play. Shadron getting the return pass. Now a roller in front of the net there as with the score, the Soviets 4 and Canada 1. This is game 4 from Vancouver. Clark line out for Canada there. Face off in the Canadian zone. Shadron is facing off for the Soviet. Yakushev, 15, is on the rim of the circle. As the puck is dropped, this is the strongest effort of the Soviet team this game tonight in Vancouver. Over on the right wing, Pat Stapleton was given quite a jolt on the boards. Anderson races after a loose puck. Bill White lobbed it back, and it's a return rush. Clark with Henderson and Ellis closing in. Ellis right in! Oh, another save there by Tretiak when Ellis was right in on top of him. Puck is shot down the ice. This is the kind of goalkeeping that keeps you on the goal.
That was definitely Team Canada's best offensive chance. A perfect 3-on-2 break. Ronnie Ellis cutting in there sharply from his right wing. He got a good shot. The deflection almost went in the net, but not quite. As they come up the ice now, they set up perfectly on a 3-on-2. Now Ellis is in there. A good save.
From the face-off, the puck goes to the far wing. Stapleton couldn't get there in time. Kuskin cleared it off his own teammate down the ice to Bill White. Blinoff is trying to check him. Clearing passes. Blinoff grabbed that one off the board. Going pass on the wing back to Blinoff. And Petrov touched it but couldn't control the puck. They have the passing making the Canadian team a bit dizzy at times. Henderson couldn't get past center. Blinoff was checked from behind. Henderson turning with Clark and Ellis, and a long shot from center ice by Henderson. Tretiak made sure there was no dropping of the puck.
Canada doesn't seem to be able to get any offensive flow. The pursuit by the Russians is so intense that when the Canadians do get the puck, they don't seem to have the ability to get all going in the same direction with some flow and some unity.
4:15 remaining in the first 10 minutes of the third period. The Soviets having a commanding lead, 4-1, and it's not just the score, it's the way they're doing it. Puck is off the boards. Esposito got it back to Dennis Hull, who's trying his sharpshooting there, but it was way high and hit the glass.
Just a reminder to the hockey fans at home viewing these games, you can participate in voting for the most valuable player on Team Canada by sending the name of your choice to Box 5050 in Toronto, Montreal, or Vancouver.
Puck is at the Soviet line. They're still in possession. Harlamov, 17. Their big star going down the right wing. Flipped it in front there. Vikolov couldn't control it as he was smothered. Goldsworthy going back to his own net. Pass to Park. Park cleared it on the left wing, but not out. The Soviets shoot it into the corner. Bergman drives it around on the boards. Goldsworthy clears it. Esposito racing after it. picks it up, goes in, a pass right in front, and Bergman deflected up, and Tretiak made a beautiful save on a great rush by Canada. That one really was brilliant, all round. Another try, a long pass, goes where they couldn't get up in time. Vikulak passes over. Here's Maltsev breaking right in on Park. He went right in and fired one off Dryden's pass. He went right past Park there. Now another Esposito shooting. Scores with his long shot. Esposito.
Bill Goldsworthy fortunately came in behind to make sure. A good play. Now he drops it back to Esposito in the slot, and a terrific high-rising shot by Esposito hits the crossbar. Goldsworthy comes in and buries it for the second time. He drops it in the slot here, and Esposito rips a shot off the top of the crossbar, and Bill Goldsworthy follows the puck up and buries it.
Team Canada's goal, scored by number 7, Phil Esposito.
Esposito gets credit on the goal.
Assisted by number 2, Gary Bergman.
Bergman
and number
assist.
5, Brad Park. At 6 minutes, 54 seconds.
6:54, Esposito from Bergman and Park. And it's 4-2 for the USSR. Frank Mahovlich on the move is watched on the play by Vladiev. It's shot out to center ice. Goes over into the Canadian zone. Shot right back. Yakushev was way outside, so they cleared it all the way back to their own blue line. Vasiliev passes at center, went astray. Mahovlich shot one in over the line, and it's called for icing. It'll be brought back for a face-off in the Canadian zone.
On that goal, obviously, Phil Esposito's shot must have gone right up under the roof of the net and dropped back down, because it did look like Bill Goldsworthy definitely shot it back into the net, but it obviously had been in the first time.
It was a perfect shot by Esposito, who's deadly around the nets. 6:54 was the time of the goal from Bergman and Park. And it's now 4-2 for the Soviets. Petrov is going to face off for the Soviets. He knocked it wide of the Canadian goal. Sealing goes after it. He's chased back behind the net. Blinov failed to stop him. It's scooped out over the line. Mihailov to Kustin, intercepted. Here's Cornwallier coming in on the right side, right in on goal. And he shot and missed it. Now another try. Gets right in front of the net. He fought hard. Mahovlich shoots, and he missed. And the Canadian team really showed some real spark there. Mihailov down the left wing is covered on the play by Sealing. It rolls over on the far side. Perot chased into the side. Mahovlich trying to dig it out. Petrov played it off the boards to center ice. Sealing covers up. Sealing 16 at center, shoots it in. Wide of the target. Cornwallier after it. Drives it back to the net. Mahovlich trapped it on the right boards, took his shot, hit a skate. Another try by Perot, centered right across the goal mouth. Mahovlich from the corner, center right front, and Perot took a slash at it, and it went off the side of his stick. Mahovlich gets another try, and Tretiak came up with that screen shot with the puck in his glove with a sensational save.
That is definitely Canada's best effort in the game so far as putting pressure. Frank Mahovlich made an absolutely beautiful play fighting off the check, but again, Tretiak, following the puck right to the very end, gets his glove on it and makes a fantastic save off Frank Mahovlich.
Tretiak is giving the goalkeeping that you have to win a championship. Puck goes into the corner, centered, and it goes right down the ice. 59 seconds left in the first half of the third period, divided into two 10-minute periods. Quick pass to center ice. Clark coming up with Ellison. Henderson couldn't get through that Soviet defense. Slides all the way back to Bill White. Over to Stapleton, to Henderson, covered by Vikulak. Now Ellis intercepts one going in. Here's a shot deflected high into the crowd as Raglan was watching him very closely along with Maltsev.
Assisted by number 7, Phil Esposito, and number 2, Gary Bergman. Une correction sur le but de l'équipe du Canada. Il a été compté pour le numéro 9, Bill Goldsworthy, avec l'aide du numéro 7, Phil Esposito, et le numéro 2, Gary Bergman.
It's a correction there. Goldsworthy is given credit as he touched the puck apparently after the shot. It hit the crossbar. Esposito thought it had gone in on the first drive. But Goldsworthy given it. Esposito and Bergman the assist. Still 4-2 for the USSR. Puck is taken by Clark. Cleared over onto the wing by Henderson. And the puck was fired there, but not too hard. And Kuciak again comes up with that glove hand, and it just goes out like a snake.
Foster, for the winner who does select the best player on Team Canada, he will receive the Labatt's Best on Ice Award, a 1973 Ford Mustang Grande. Ballots are available from any Labatt representative or Ford dealer in Canada.
The last scoring play officially, Goldsworthy from Esposito and Bergman at 6:54. Esposito fired the shot. Apparently it just hit the bar and didn't go in. It looked as if it had gone in, but Goldsworthy tipped it in to make sure. It had the official scorers fooled. A siren goes right after the face-off. With the score, the Soviets 4 and Canada 2. This is Game 4 from Vancouver. All set for the face-off. 10 minutes left in this game as they jam against the boards. Canada to the right, Soviets to the left. Anderson center right in front of the net. Here's a loose puck. A shot just went wide. That was close. Esposito failed to get out of the on the first try. Park is forced into the corner. They're watching him as he comes back to the net. Park is on the move. Coming up at center with Goldsworthy on that right side. On into the corner. Jammed on the boards, but still fighting for that puck. Right into the corner on the opposite side. Dennis Hall passes in front. Yakushev recovers. Yakushev with Anderson at center. Over on the left side to Shadrin. Yakushev couldn't get a shot. Park deflecting it. Yakushev takes it on the boards. Bounce off the skate. Knocked back to the blue line. Maladia got it to one side. It's the loose puck still in there. Back of the net. Yakushev set it right in front. Here's an open chance. They score! They found that opening. Shadrin was able to come right in there. Nobody near him.
Again, an example of leaving a man clear in front. Look at Shadrin. Good pursuit of the puck. Now Shadrin comes from the right out in front. He misses it. And tremendous concentration to throw that puck in up over Dryden on the second shot. Dryden makes a first good save, but there's no one there to help him.
USSR 5, Canada 2.
At 1 minute 5 seconds.
Shadrin from Yakushev and Vasiliev at 1:05 of the third period to give the Soviet a commanding lead and kind of put the Canadian fire out here. Here's Perot trying to come in on that left wing. Blinoff had it momentarily. It's centered in front. But again, they come up with that puck. Petrov at center. Three of them. Blinoff on the right. Hyloff on the left. He goes in back of the net. Every man comes up. And Dryden had to stop that one, and the puck goes flying into the crowd. And they get that shot on.
The Canadians certainly haven't given up by any means, Foster, but there's no question the Soviets have had the ability to score when they've had to score. Whenever they've been pressed, they've managed to get that goal and protect that lead. But I'm impressed with the way Canada has come back. Bill Goldsworthy in particular has made up for those early penalties with some fine efforts in this latter part of the game.
Soviet are making more changes, but they seem quite fresh out there. Harlamov is taking over on the left wing, Vikolov on the right, Maltsev at center. Ori on the defense now for Canada, 26. Failed to get the pass over. It's taken by Perot, back of the net. Hadfield is on the left wing waiting for a pass. Sealing cleared it nearly onto Vikolov's stick. And the Canadian team trying to get underway. Ori is chased back by Vikolov. Pulled around back of the net. Passed on the right wing. And the Soviets intercept. Back with a forward pass. Harlamov was beaten to it by Ori. The Canadian player Sealing gets it ahead to Hadfield. Hadfield going in with a drive right in front of the net. And the Soviets come up with it, shooting it out to center ice where Ori tried to drive it back. Harlamov at his own blue line having difficulty getting away from the Canadian checking at this stage. Hadfield went after him. Pass comes to Maltsev, to Vikolov at the Canadian line. Vikolov passed behind, no one was there. Hadfield over on the left side, and a shot by Clark goes into the corner. Stapleton and Bill White going back on the Canadian defense. Soviet in control of the puck, cleared back at their own blue line. Take a good look, Raglan. Over on that left wing, back to Raglan again to Maltsev. Then back to Sergantov. Over on the far side. Now Maltsev breaks out to center ice with Harlamov. Maltsev shoots. It's deflected high into the crowd.
That was a perfect example of the Soviets continually breaking into the open areas. They had everybody standing still. Maltsev sees the opportunity in behind the Canadians' defense, and he will break right out here. The Soviets just control the play. Now watch Maltsev from your left. He'll break right into the opening. He sees a chance to go, and he'll break right up the middle. From the face-off, the Soviets had one shot there, but not on the net. It goes over to Ellis, who's out there with Henderson, and Clark. Henderson has it, playing it back. Here's White getting a shot. It was wide. Ellis back to the blue line. Bill White couldn't control it, but shot it into the Soviet zone. Clark is trying to stop his man. They were able to get onside. The officials, Len Gagnon and Gordon Lee. Matt Stapleton had a good drive at Tretiak, but he's almost unbeatable. Puck is taken by Shadron on that wing. Ellis broke it up. Shadron again goes back to shoot it down the ice this time. He'll be called for icing. It's interesting to watch this game at this stage because the Soviets have shown that they have the ability to play hockey any way you want to play it. If you want to play it rough and tough, if you want to throw a lot of checks, they'll play it that way. Right now, the body work, although it is heavy along the boards, it's not the key emphasis in this game. It's been puck control, and the Soviets have dominated the puck whenever they've needed to.
The Soviets are threatening to take the lead in the series. They lead 5-2, but their performance on the ice has more than justified the score. Puck is back at center ice. Dennis Hull was going in there with Esposito. Offside. With the score, the Soviets 5 and Canada 2. This is Game 4 from Vancouver. 5:31 left in the game. The puck is at center ice and goes where they with Esposito and Dennis Hull attacking for Canada. Puck is knocked to the blue line. Esposito coming in the goal for the on the right. Here's a shot. And Tretiak again saved the day. Petrov coming up was knocked down. Dennis Hull returns. Number 10 over the line to Esposito. The shot dribbled right to the goal. Kuskin into the corner for the Soviet. Bergman keeps it in there, and the Canadian defense playing every man up. A quick shot by Dennis Hull, but Tretiak just nursed that one around back of the net, and he wasn't going to drop it because he hadn't made a safe catch.
Tretiak has shown a tremendous ability here to concentrate on the puck and follow it very carefully because the puck was scrambling there. Dennis Hull got a quick little flip shot, but Tretiak came up and played it in the top part of his body.
Right from the drop of the hat, there has been much doubt about which is the better team in this game tonight in Vancouver. Soviets have been outplaying the Canadian team in every department. A quick pass comes over on the right side. Vikolov couldn't get it. Still left there. Maltsev goes off stride. Frank Mahovlich couldn't recover. Sagankov let Perot come back there when he didn't go after the puck. He works in there, going in on goal, and Perot has been sparkling for Canada with some of his moves. He's really tricky. A shot is wide of the Soviet goal. Canada coming in front of the net. Barnoyer tried his left there. Perot was in front. Rakhmanovich right there too. Puck is shot out to center ice by Skankov. Mahavlich in again with Perot. Couldn't reach the pass. Raglan takes it back to the net. 4:10 left in the game. Two-man break. Harlamov trying to go in on the defense. Couldn't fool him. He was there with Mikulov, and he failed to get a shot. Canada was sealing, clearing on the right side to Perot. Perot going in on the wing, pass behind him, and the Soviets recover. It's Mikulov to center ice. Over the line with Harlamov trailing. Sealing played it safely to one side. And the Soviets are watching their checks very closely. Clark now passes to Henderson. Going up with his shot. It bounced off Sagankov's arm. And it's out to center ice. 3:28 left in the game. 5-2 for the Soviets. And they seem to have complete control of the game. Harlamov is forced back. Not taking any chances. Finally breaks out in center with a burst of speed. Here's his shot, and it's wide of the target. Bounces off the glass, goes into the corner. Pat Stapleton going back to the net. Falls, trying to get it away, is covered by Anderson. Back to the blue line. Here's a shot. Went wide as Vasiliev had it try. They're coming right in front again, and the pass is deflected to the blue line. Gladiev drove it back to the net. Dryden passed it to Bill White, and the Canadians are having a hard time getting it out. Finally, they shoot it down the ice. Tretiak has to stop it, and that's one of the few times they've had a weak shot on goal. Clearing pass on the right side. Anderson moving up. Yakushev on that far side. The drive was stopped by Bill White, who went down on his knees.
Foster, the second half of this series will resume in Moscow, September the 22nd, the 24th, the 26th, and the 28th. Team Canada will go to Stockholm, Sweden first to play 2 games there before moving on to Moscow. And of course, we will bring you all 4 games from the Soviet Union.
2:29 left in the game. Soviets still in command, leading 5-2. Petrov is up there for the face-off with Esposito. Dennis Hull on the left wing, number 10. It's Mikhailov who really set the pace in the early part of the game for the Soviets. Which he got 2 deflected goals, and both on penalties. And that just seemed to kill the Canadians right at that spot. They've given everything they have, but it seemed to unnerve them. Esposito turning with Bergman. Bergman plays it ahead over to Dennis Hull, who couldn't get anywhere on the try. Goldsworthy had passed to him. Now Esposito at 7 to Goldsworthy. It went behind him. Lecheko playing it to Blinov, who missed a board check by Goldsworthy. Goldsworthy is really stirring things up when he can. Puck slides out at center ice. Bergman to Dennis Hull. Dennis Hull turning, then gets a long shot. Tretiak stopped it with ease. Esposito keeps it in. 1:42 left in the game. 5-2 for the Soviets. Bergman at center ice. Now they're going back in their own zone. Hart had cleared it out at center. Blinov just cleared it into the Soviet zone. Lecheko going back to the net. Intercepted by Dennis Hull, who just passed without looking. Mikhailov, 13 for the Soviets. Rags that puck, gets it out over the line, then Esposito stole it, getting his shot away. Tretiak stopped that. Dennis Hull tried to dig it out from the corner. Petrov for the USSR failed on his try. Dennis Hull with 1 minute left in the game. Goldsworthy on the far wing, trying to center it out. Recovered by Kuzkin. Kuzkin, here's up to Mikhailov, a breakaway. And Bergman gets back to cover as Mikhailov had a breakaway on the play. Dryden is out of the net. They're trying to get that puck, but the Soviets recover, and they've been recovering that puck in the corner all night. It hit Mikhailov from the back when Petrov let it go. Mikulov centered right in front. Recovered by Canada. Esposito with 27 seconds at center ice. Over on the left wing, Dennis Hull right in on goal. Dennis Hull
A good, quick shot by Dennis Hall. He caught the goalie. Phil Esposito gives him a perfect pass, holds the two defensemen to the middle, lays it into Hall. Now watch this shot. He gets Tretiak backing up into the net and throws it right up top. Good shot by Dennis Hall.
8:38 is the time.
Dennis Hall. Assisted by number 7, Phil Esposito, and number 9, Bill Goldsworthy, at 9 minutes 38 seconds.
Goldsworthy also got the assist. Dennis Hull from Esposito and Goldsworthy to make it 5-3 and make the score appear more respectable. There's the siren as it goes to end the game, and the USSR have defeated Canada in the rubber game 5-3. It was a tremendous effort by the Soviets, and that goal at the end didn't have really any bearing other than it made it look a little better. With the final score, the Soviets 5 and Canada 3. This is Game 4 from Vancouver.
For the people across Canada, we tried. We did our best. And for the people that boo us, geez, all of us guys are really disheartened, and we're disillusioned, and we're disappointed in some of the people. We cannot believe the bad press we've got, the booing we've gotten in our own buildings. And if the Russians boo their players, if the Russians boo their players like some of the Canadian fans, I'm not saying all of them, some of them booed us, then I'll come back and I'll apologize to each one of the Canadians. But I don't think they will. I'm really disappointed. I am completely disappointed. I cannot believe it. Some of our guys are really down in the dumps. We know we're trying, but hell, I mean, we're doing the best we can, and they got a good team, and let's face facts. But it doesn't mean that we're not giving it our 150%, because we certainly are.
Well, I think, Phil, the disappointment is a natural thing, because the whole thing was an unexpected thing. We all live with the National Hockey League. We've all been so proud over the years how great they are.
It's unexpected because the press said that we were so good. Not one of us guys ever said we were good.
No, this is the thing. This is the thing that I'm, on behalf of the fans, I must say that probably, since everything is relative, we know how good you people are. The people didn't realize how good the Soviet team was, and now we found out how good they are. I think we can appreciate how good both teams are.
But I'll tell you, we love, I mean, every one of us guys, 35 guys that came out and played for Team Canada, we did it because we love our country, and not for any other reason, no other reason. They can throw the money for the pension fund out the window, they can throw anything they want out the window. We came because we love Canada. And even though we play in the United States and we earn money in the United States, Canada is still our home, and that's the only reason we come. And I don't think it's fair that we should be booed.
Well, Phil, I'm sure that the people can see from the sweat just pouring off your face that you and all your players have given 100%, and we look forward to some great games from you and the rest of your gang when you get over.